What up, my people? It's your friendly neighborhood Highbrarian, Lewis Automatic, back with another book review. This time, we're going to talk about Awakening the Giant Within. It's a classic from none other than Anthony Robbins, better known as Tony Robbins, you feel me? Bestseller, Wake Up and Take Control of Your Life. Now, this is a book that's been in my household for a lot of years, you feel me? Like, I don't even know if my people's ever read this shit, but, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of Tony Robbins tapes, you know what I'm saying? He's a motivational speaker. I've seen a lot of Tony Robbins tapes, I think, from the 80s and early 90s and shit. Like, them shits was always around the house. I don't think my people's ever listened to them. And this book was laying around and shit, so I picked it up one day. I was at my mom's crib. And I actually read this book right when I graduated college and shit, back in 2019 and shit. So this is definitely an inspirational book along the lines of, the motivational speakings, like the Think and Grow Rich, you know what I'm saying? Just like the self-help. I'm not saying that this is the same type of book, or it is the same type of book, but, like putting you in the vein of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this is like a precursor to some of that, but this is obviously after Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill set the standard with it. But the big thing about this book, my major takeaway, this is a big ass book, you feel me? It's a good read. But, it's a lot of the same principles from Think and Grow Rich and a lot of other self-help books. But the main takeaway I had was, changing your associations. You have to change what you associate with pain and pleasure and what brings you joy and, success and pain. You feel me? It's like, those are neuro-linguistic programming principles, NLP. I know a lot of my viewers may not be hip to that. Hold up, the blunt went out. Hold up. Could be that brain if a nigga ain't getting high, right? Alright. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple bullet points, you know what I'm saying? Some shit I want to point out. I ain't gonna go through every chapter of shit. Just a couple key points I feel like this book touched on that people should know about. So chapter 2 starts about decisions, the pathway to power. And again, you know what I'm saying? This is after Think and Grow Rich. We go back to decision making and avoiding procrastination. Now, the quote here says, "A man is born to live and not to prepare to live." That's a deep quote. A man is born to live, not to prepare to live. That means we have to stop all that procrastination. You feel me? We have to make strong decisions and stick to them. You know what I'm saying? They say the best people is the ones that make decisions quickly and change them slowly, if at all. You know what I'm saying? You got to ride this shit out. And this book, it goes into a lot of different, a lot of different modalities, as they call them, you feel me? And just, ways to master yourself, because it's a lot about self-mastery. So, the types of emotions an individual might feel in the week. You might feel stressed out, frustrated, angry, insecure, lonely, bored, miserable, happy, relieved, loved, excited, joyous. You feel me? So it's another, like I said, it's another Think and Grow Rich concept, you feel me? The mastery of emotions. He who masters his emotions, you're a step ahead of the game. T.I. has a clothing line called a king of oneself. So being a king of oneself isn't just, treating yourself royally, which is a part. And it's not just about knowing where you come from, but it's about mastering your emotions. As they say, you have to mentally respond instead of emotionally react. So yeah, mastering your emotions is a big thing. And there's just this is another point I had right here, where basically you have to have the power to reinvent yourself. This book talks a lot about reinvention. There's multiple perspectives. There's so many different ways to look at something. Now, one thing I did peep in this book, I think he took a shot at the Ghetto Boys, which, just me, being a hip hop head, you feel me? And, Scarface, Willie D, R.I.P. Bushwick, you feel me? Those is the guys, you feel me? So I think, this is around like the gangster rap is not all right era. So Tony definitely jumped on that wave. But, this book also has like some space where you could answer some questions about who I am now, and like how you want to expand your identity. So it's basically like some shit that you could like, fill out, write in, fill in the blank type shit. And also this goes back into like, like your association, how you associate things. So like right here where it talks about negative emotions and expressing. So you might say, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling afraid, I'm feeling anxious. You want to change, I'm feeling angry to, I'm feeling disenchanted, afraid to uncomfortable, anxious to a little concern, or anxious to. So it's like basically like you're the words that you use, you want to soften the blow, basically. You know what I'm saying? You have to transform your negative emotions into more positive emotions. So instead of confused, you might say, I'm feeling curious, or instead of disappointed, I feel underwhelmed, or instead of disappointed, I feel delayed. You feel me? Like instead of disgusted, you feel surprised. So it's like I saw like my bro Wavy, he was pointing out like the word black. The word black is so, you know what I'm saying, has such a negative connotation, just, you know what I'm saying, like a black hole or like the black market or so many things, that when you associate that with black people, we automatically have like just that word association makes you feel like you have another hill to climb, basically. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, they was talking about some, changing themselves to like changing their identity to basically, I think it was like I don't want to misquote it, but it was basically along the lines of majority African descent, something of that nature. But just something to kind of like, cause like the English language, like, you know what I'm saying, this spelling, this stuff is powerful. Like, you know what I'm saying, like the words we use, you know what I'm saying, it links to our destiny. Like it says right here, what you link to pain and what you link to pleasure shapes your destiny. I have that. This is a part of the book I have highlighted right here. What you link to pain and what you link to pleasure shapes your destiny. So basically, that goes into like what you associate, your associations. Like maybe instead of, you know what I'm saying, just always drinking or smoking, associating that with pleasure, you might want to associate, studying and working out and just going to work with pleasure. And you might want to associate like your vices to pain, and those would be the reasons why you're not where you at in life. And then once you start associating your vices with necessarily like not good things, or like, you know what I'm saying, just the pain, that'll like probably motivate you to change, you know what I'm saying? So this is definitely a good book, you know what I'm saying. I recommend